Hi, in this video we are going to do the OSPF troubleshooting, the first session. And in this first scenario, what we are going to do is same like the previous scenarios that we did for the BGP and other protocols. I am going to share the GNS3 file for this scenario and also the initial config files, so that when you guys want to do the troubleshooting with me, you guys can join me and play with me at the same time while we are also troubleshooting. So let's look into the topology first. So we have the R1 router over here on our left. Within one OSPF area, we have another R2 router. They are not directly connected. Yeah, there is a layer 2 switch in between. The IP address scheme is same like before, 10.10.1.2.1, 10.10.1.2.2. So R1 has the .1 IP, R2 has the .2 IP. Since it's between R1 R2 router, so the second last subnet is 1.2. The loopback for the R1 is all 1. For the loopback for the R2 is like 112.1. So the second octet tells the router number. So same like before, very simple topology. Let's jump into the router one by one and let's see what problem we have over here. So I usually don't like to tell the problem in advance. We will gradually go ahead and do the show IP OSPF neighbor, and then we will see, hey, the neighbors are not coming up. Over here also I see that show IP OSPF neighbor. No neighborship is over here either. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So now let's look into the let's go one step by step and let's try to see what could be the wrong and why the OSPF is not coming up. The easiest thing is to do is the show run, but if we want to learn the troubleshooting skills, the best idea is not to use the show run command. Let's do the show commands, the troubleshooting command, and let's do the Wireshark step by step so that we can build our troubleshooting skills. So I will not do the show run. So let's do something like ping. Let's verify if we can reach. Sometimes there are very simple issues like we cannot reach the neighbor. We cannot ping the neighbor. The neighbor is unreachable, and that's it. So let's do the ping to the neighbor. Oh wow, so I cannot ping my neighbor. Okay, so 10.10.1.2.2 and the next IP. Oh yeah, the ping is working fine. Sorry for that. So the ping is working fine. So initially it looked like when the first IP was, there are some ARP table build up process timing, right? So maybe it was building up the ARP. Okay, and that's why it was not pingable, but now we can see that it's pingable, so which is good. So the neighbor is reachable, so it means like the connectivity is there. Let's go to the next step. Let's see the interface. Sometimes the OSPF neighbor cannot come up because the MTUs are not matching. So what we are going to do is like show IP interface fast Ethernet 0/0 include MTU. I can also do like the full interface view, but it will be so big it will waste your time. And if you're giving some IT examination or you're troubleshooting in your live environment, time is very important. So if you want to see only the MTU, my suggestion is that just do pipe match include MTU. This is going to save your time. You don't have to look, where is the MTU, where is the MTU line? Yeah, oh yeah, it's over here in the fourth place. Yeah, so let's save our time, use the pipe include. Okay, and then let's do the next step. Let's see what's configured, the show IP command for the interface. It tells what's configured in the interface. Show IP OSPF interface fast Ethernet 0/0. So I know that the interface is fast Ethernet 00 from the topology. Okay, now when we do show IP OSPF interface fast Ethernet 00, I haven't did any include over here because I want to check multiple things. I wanted to see the network type. So we see the network type over here as a broadcast. Okay, so the default type, if you don't configure anything on the interface, it goes as network as a broadcast type. It means there will be DR/BDR elections as well. So that's another thing we have to think about, but let's look into the basic things. So there is a line for over here for the timers as well. Okay, so these are the timers over here. Now I want to see the same two things over here as well. So I will do the show IP OSPF interface fast Ethernet 0/0, and I am going to use the include I just want to make it look clean. So that's why I'm going to do the include and do the network. So over here I see the network type is broadcast. So network type is matching. Sometimes if the network type doesn't matches, like other side is point to point, it might create problems in bringing up the neighbor, maybe. So that could be one of the possibility. So we check the network types are matching. Other thing I like to see is the timers. If the timers doesn't match, the OSPF will not come up. Oh wow. So we see over here the hello is 10. Over here is hello is 20. Now I will not jump directly into the config and change, because right now we are doing troubleshooting, we are learning stuff. So why don't we do something interesting? Let's do some Wireshark thing. Okay. So now the Wireshark has finally opened. Let's look into the Wireshark result. So I'm filtering by the OSPF because I want to see all the OSPF packets. So this is the source 10 10 12 1, that is the router R1. Okay, now let's look into over here. We see the open shortest path first, the last part. So let me magnify it so that you guys can clearly see. So in the OSPF part, I am going to see OSPF header, OSPF hello packet. This is interesting. So when we open the OSPF hello packet, we are going to see hello timer of 10. So on the R1 we are seeing hello timer 10 and the dead interval 40. So let's pick up the other OSPF packet which is coming from the router R2. 10 10 12 2 is the router R2. So when I go over here, I see the OSPF hello packet over here, hello interval 20, and dead interval is 70. So this is another way of verifying what's the hello timers. Although it's a very difficult way, but I suggest to use Wireshark, because when you are in practical field, you might end up using Wireshark for some troubleshooting. Like you don't have access to the other router for with which you are making the OSPF neighborship. So you can go into the Wireshark and check what's coming, what type of packet coming from the other side. So it's very useful to learn the Wireshark tool as well. Now the next part is like, let's do the debug. So the third way of troubleshooting the same problem will be using the debug. So let's go into R1 and R2 over here again, and this time I'm going to run the debug IP OSPF events. Okay, and debug IP OSPF adjacencies. Okay, ADJ. So we have two OSPF being run, but we have to wait a little bit so all of these things all the packets, like all these events, come back again. Or what I can do is that config terminal, and I can go interface fast ethernet 0/0, and I'm going to shut this over here. Let it shut. Okay, it's shut down, no shut. So I'm doing this experiment like shutting, no shutting, and then I will do show IP OSPF interface fast ethernet 0/0. I want to see whether the interface is up. So we see that the it's not shut down right now. Network is broadcast, same hello timers are high, and hello due is in 16 second. So 11 second. Let's pause for few seconds. So I'm going to do some debug command like debug IP OSPF hello commands, right? So now the hello is being enabled. Let's see what packets does this debugging show us. So we are seeing one hello packet over here, which is being sent at 1435. So now we see some more of the hello packets over here. See, this one is there at 1445, and then the previous one was 1435. So we see that it's being sent at an interval of 10 seconds each. So this one is being sent into this multicast address, because the broadcast type is selected over here, and OSPF sends hellos to this multicast address. And then we see the first one as 1435, the next one at 1445. So every 10 seconds this guy is sending. And then we see there is another mismatch message over here coming. Receive hello is there at 1447. Next one, because this is receive hello, the next one should be coming in 20 seconds because the neighbor is configured as 20. Dead interval 70, hello received 20 seconds. So this one was received by the neighbor one. It says over here dead 70 is coming by the neighbor. R20. So we were saying that 1447 one message came back, and then there is another receive hello over here. So roughly we can say roughly by after roughly around 20 seconds we see the next hello message coming from the neighbor, which is our R2 router 1121. And also we see that there is a mismatch over here, a mismatch hello parameter message coming up. So this is another way we can check using the debug IP OSPF hello command. So which will debug the OSPF packets, the OSPF hello packets. Now these were some of the interface command we can use for troubleshooting. I need to show you one more interesting thing, which is, let's go into the configuration. I will show you over here. So I will do undebug all, which is important to turn off the debug monitoring, otherwise it will trouble you. Do show run interface fast ethernet 0/0. Now I am looking at the interface configuration because I want to show you something related to the configuration of the hello parameters. Now you see the OSPF hello dead interval is 70 over a OSPF hello interval is 20. Now if we want to bring up the OSPF neighbor relationship, we have two options. Either we configure 20 at both end, or I just remove this command and make it default. I prefer to remove the configuration commands whatever is over here, and once I remove it, the OSPF neighborship must be coming up. So now I am removing. The other option is that I could have gone into R1 and configure same parameters which I saw over here, 70 and 20. Whatever I was receiving by the debug, I knew from the debug that hey, it's the hello timers are like 20 seconds, so let's configure 20. So but I prefer to remove it, and once we remove it, so the default configurations as I told you were 10 and 40. So let's look over here. So I'm checking, there is nothing configured over here, and do show interface, do show IP OSPF interface fast ethernet 0/0, and we see that it has taken the default parameter which is 10 and 40. As soon as we took it, we see that the OSPF neighborship came up loading to full. Now if we do the first command in this lab example, we did show IP OSPF neighbor, right? So this was the first command we did and nothing was showing up. Now we can see that the neighbor has been is showing up over here. Another interesting thing is that what is the default configuration. You saw over here that the default configs doesn't shows up when we do the show run command, right? Now I will configure something like IP OSPF, okay, and hello interval 10 and the dead interval as 40. So these will won't be shown in the these won't be shown in because these are the default command. Now let's say if I configure hello 20, okay, and let's do hello 20 over here, and when we do the hello 20 and we see the configuration on the interface, what we are going to see is that hello interval is configured as the 20 over here, dead it's showing the dead interval as 40 over here, right? So why? Because we have changed the hello interval into 20. Now this is the behavior of the router configuration over here. Now I'm going to do one more interesting thing. So the iOS behavior or the show run, if I do the dead interval 40, which is the dead interval 80, which is actually 4 times of hello interval. So by default, what we have mechanism, the default behavior is that dead interval is 4 times of hello interval. So let's see how it shows right now. Right now it won't be showing us the dead interval timer because that interval is the default, which is 4 times the 20. Okay, so the thing is that the Cisco iOS configuration will not show you if anything is configured as if something is configured default, it doesn't shows up. But if you configure something like, if I configure dead interval as 79, it will show up in the configuration. So this is something to note. Obviously, as soon as we play with these intervals, the OSPF neighborship is going to go down. Now I will keep all these configs and the GNS3 file for you guys on my shared drive. You guys can download, and I suggest when you watch this video, you can watch it multiple times and play with me at the same time. By playing I mean practice it. So just make it fun. Okay, so let's watch my, because I want to make more scenarios for OSPF troubleshooting. So we are going to make more videos on the OSPF troubleshooting. So stay tuned. I am surprised. Only 18% of the viewers who watch this channel have subscribed. So let's not wait and hit the subscribe button.